that challenged you? Hands up if that challenged you. Good. This is not meant to be easy, so I'm glad you got that sinking feeling of, wow, okay, this is not that hard. But now you know that feeling, now you can get comfortable with that feeling. Get comfortable with that unknown. Okay, so this is quickly what we did in that validation. We talked about this pyramid, right? Moving up from just surveys, which people already rarely do in hackathons, to going, okay, can we actually charge people? Do people actually get monetary value out of this? Can I get money out of people's pockets? And then we talked about, okay, what is an MVP? And talked about how it's getting to that end goal, even though it's a different way of getting to that end goal. Again, that is testing the assumptions that people get value out of it. And then Sunday, this morning, wow, I had about half the people turn up at 8 a.m. I was sort of impressed, even though the rooms were locked. We started with pitching, an incredible pitching workshop, covering like everything from the hero's journey to the new business model canvas. And then we had leadership sessions. We had more networking, and you got told that you should demo, sell, and then build, rather than build, and then find out your product doesn't quite work. And then, again, we had more mentors coming to like punch holes and everything. So hopefully by now, you're ready for this thing. So, exciting. Who is excited?
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully that got all of the nerves out, so now you're super calm. So, Kudos, these are the people who are going to be judging you. Okay, so we have Sonia, we have Alex, and we have Tim. Right? These are people who've been in the space. They will know if you like speaking gibberish. I'm sorry to say it now, but you just put out all your nerves. It's super calm. Okay, so let me introduce this. I'm going to read off my computer because I have not memorized this. So let me introduce Sonia first. Sonia's designed, built, scaled an 8-figure and exited a technology business. She closely follows emerging technologies and has a passion about entrepreneurship. So Sonia, yeah, hand up. Next we have Tim. So Tim has been working alongside startups, corporates to build, launch, test, analyze, and iterate in market experiments. He has also led the design, development, and delivery of customer experience strategies, established innovation ideas, negotiated partnerships with global players, and built dynamic award-winning teams which demonstrate the customer centricity critical to finance operations, customer success. In the entrepreneurship ecosystem, he's founded FinTech Queensland and delivered design sprints and hackathons for corporate community groups and government agencies across Australia. So you'll know what we've done. Let's welcome Tim. So, well, we're lucky to have Alex. So Alex has spent 10 years working in and around early stage startups, initially as a founder and more recently as a venture partner. So while not working, Alexander has typically been found mentoring early stage founders on how to execute on their ideas. Like, this is a pretty incredible round of judges. So let's give it up for Alexander as well. We can get this quality of mentors and then judges coming to like help the startup ecosystem grow. So I'm hoping that you guys are taking so many ideas, are taking so much to go like from problem and then solving that problem with a business, right? So we are really grateful to have support from such high caliber, such as yourselves. So you'll know what's coming next. I've been like getting messages from like the rest of the EQ's team around here, so that's what all the big has been. Because what that means is what we're ready. So let me introduce the quick rules, let me introduce the quick what you need to know in case you've forgotten because you're ready for this. Okay? So 5 minutes total. Right? We're not going over that. We can't. You have 3 minutes to pitch. Okay? At the 3-minute mark, if you go over time, we start clapping, okay? Then, the moment you finish, I'm gonna ask the audience, don't clap, right? Don't clap, because we're gonna go straight to questions from the judges, and the clock is gonna keep ticking till that 5-minute mark. So if you finish at 1 minute 30 because you're so excited and you spoke twice as fast, well, you get an extra minute 30 in questions. Congrats. Young over here is going to put up his hand at the 2-minute mark. Okay? So if you're still talking about your problem at the 2-minute mark, well, you're going to have another problem. So, 2-minute mark, and at 3 minutes, he's going to start clapping. Once you've finished, okay, maybe just walk over to the judges, and we'll start the questions. Okay? Don't wait for another prompt. We'll just start going, and that will be it. Once the teams have finished, once the clapping starts, you all know the order, it's in Slack. Next team, come down. Okay, so already when the question is, you go, okay, I'll one next. And then you get yourself ready, you get yourself hyped, you breathe in, breathe out, and go, okay, and once that's done, once the clapping starts, next team comes down. And quick transition, we're hoping 30 seconds max. So let's make it quick. And first up, who do you have for minute? Okay, do you have them up? Here we go, Maple, with Richie's we need to do like a 20-second race, because we are changing. I don't want my phone.
You're in a meeting and your baby starts crying. And I mean, absolutely screaming. So you go over, pick her up, try to rock her back to bed. And oh God, there's shit everywhere. So naturally, you take her to the bath, wash her off, change her nappy, put her in a stroller, and go for a short walk to calm her down. But imagine if you had to do all that without the ability to walk. Or even stand. This is a problem that 600,000 disabled Australian parents face on a daily basis. They aren't able to bathe, clean, walk, or play with their child when it matters the most. We've spoken to Steve Camp, a father without his left arm. Brooke Watson, a two-time Paralympic gold medalist. Brooke C, a disability advocate at UQ, and many students with disabled parents, and they all agree this is a problem that needs solving. So that's where Mabel comes in. Mabel is the one-stop shop for disabled mothers to get the help that they deserve. They take them through 3 questions talking about their disabilities, children's age, and the things they struggle with. They then get recommended a list of solutions and recommendations from past mothers with those disabilities, including testimonials and second-hand options for purchases. They can also then get connected to a range of support networks that they wouldn't otherwise have to communicate and help people who are in their same situation. We've spoken to 37 potential customers and they've all validated this solution, saying this is something that they could use in their lives. Our primary business model and revenue streams comes through commissions from those second-hand sales, starting at 5% and slowly decreasing over time as we scale. This gives us enough profit to maintain sustainability while also keeping costs low for customers who need it the most. Our distribution stream are what we aim to market most clearly. So these are our 6 touch points: NDIS caseworkers, occupational therapists, Eve Health, a women's health and gynecologist organisation, Peachtree, perinatal wellness organisations, disability groups like MS Readathon, and midwives. What we need to do now is continue building out our platform, implementing throughout Brisbane and Australia, and then scale globally. And that's where you come in. We need your help to find more connections within this space and also successfully implement throughout Australia. And so it's our hope that Mabel can help mothers become more able. Thank you.
Awesome. So I kind of get this problem I've got. I kind of get this problem I've got a young bub at home and one on the way, so I kind of understand what's going on. Obviously, I'm not physically, I don't have a physical element. I'm wondering about whether or not the solution here is actually solving the problem. If by recommending products and essentially taking a clip of the ticket of each of those products, are you going to be able to move enough product to make it a useful transaction for both parties, yourself as the vendors yourself, and obviously the farmers?
Yeah, it's a good question. We've kind of thought about this a lot. We've talked to people in this space and seen what they wanted. The biggest thing was those support groups, something that we'll do for free. And they also wanted cheaper access to technology, because strollers and stuff like that are over $2,000 for access to wheelchairs. So second-hand products with that would then be quite a lot cheaper than the normal price. And otherwise would also give back some lost capital to those parents who initially bought those products. And we'll take a small cut of that. So it's not going to be very much. Still far cheaper than the solutions at the moment. And we're not going to take a cut off those brand new lines. It's going to be up their recommended solution from testimonials.
So is it more of a marketplace kind of approach? Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Right.
And we also considered other types of revenue streams like advertising or putting the website behind a paywall. But for advertising, that makes it inaccessible for visually impaired readers who use screen readers, and for using other things like the paywall, kind of think that defeats the purpose of giving them like a software.
As tagged, good problem, good that you're thinking about it. You mentioned your distribution stream and you named quite a list of fairly impressive companies. Have you spoken with any of those companies?
We have reached out to every single one of them, but none of them have gotten back to us this weekend. We talked to them yesterday morning, sent them emails, nothing has come back yet. But hopefully they'll kind of message us soon, in like pretty much soon.
Okay. Are you excited? That's number one. Let's give it up another round of applause for Michael. I hope you're Glee looking for this. So let's welcome Glee and your presenter. Yeah, let's welcome Glee.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Garrett. I'm here on behalf of my team, Glee. So our main aim is to tackle down loneliness. Loneliness is an issue across all demographics, but our aim is to reduce loneliness within uni and schools. We have a quick video coming up, a few interviews that we have.
Do you ever feel lonely?
Yeah, a lot of the time.
And why is that?
Just because I'm not super confident and it's just hard to go up to people and start conversations.
Have you ever felt lonely?
Yes, I have.
And why is that?
I'm just new city, you gotta make new friends, so it's gotta hit the reset button.
Do you ever feel lonely?
Yeah,
Why?
because I don't want drinking to be the only way of socializing.
Do you ever feel lonely?
Yes, I definitely feel lonely sometimes.
And why is that?
I'm a big introvert, and coming to college, I sometimes struggle to find courage to talk to people.
Do you ever feel lonely?
Yeah, I would definitely say that I get lonely sometimes.
And why is that?
I think I'm coming from a place where I didn't know I was into a big area like you do. Just the number of unknown faces, it makes it kind of comfortable, and then not knowing whether to interact with people in a space like that, it just makes it very reasonable.
Awesome. So, from the several interviews that we did go through, face-to-face interviews and online surveys, these are the few root causes of loneliness that we've actually come across within unis. So this brings me to our solution. So our main aim for a solution is to encourage everyone to interact with each other easily. In some cases, we have a certain perception of how we perceive each other, which kind of brings a block. But that's where it comes in our band, the Glee band. Very simple Glee band over here, just throughout uni, kind of signifies you're more open to a conversation. And of course, we're really busy at uni, so if you don't need to use a Glee band, you can always take off your band. We also have a fun QR code, which gives you more information about us. Our business model is non-for-profit. If anyone does ask why, I would say loneliness truly heals. As an operational model, we have two main aims: is to launch Glee within a whole of and all colleges within UQ. And we aim to do this next year. Just a few forecasts we have up here. First block explains how much money we could get within UQ. The second explains about colleges, and the third across other universities. We have got validation at the moment, so we have spoken to the head of John's College, and they have given us approval of possibly launching Glee during next year during college. And what comes next? I would say taking over UQ and any money and profits that we get.
So, what other competitors are out there in this market?
So the top few that I've seen that's come closest, but it's not closest at the moment, is Come Say Hi. It's a wristband that's not across unions, it's across schools mostly. That Come Say Hi, where sit down with me. My bad. Come Say Hi is this one. Yeah, I would say this other one's similar as Are You Okay? But what makes us different is we're going across unions and we even have weekly catch-ups, so we're going to go through it now.
What's happening with the weekly catch-up?
Weekly catch-ups is where we just have maybe during lunch or on the evenings accordingly, where a few of us within our brand, our company come through, and we just invite anyone to come along and hang out. Safe space.
You manufacturing the wristband, or are you using like a website that?
Yeah, these we just printed ourselves just over the weekend. We plan to source them for about 50 cents each, like solution bands. So super cheap, super effective. We can sell that at no price.
The barcodes, we're the one we're going to be integrating the software over there, which you can scan. The idea is you scan your barcode, you put in the information, if anyone scans it, your product comes up.
Yeah. So you'll adjust your financial figures to take into account the manufacturer of the band.
We're going to run out of time, but I'm curious to understand how this differentiates from any of the social clubs on campus. If you join a social club, chances are you're going to be catching up. I know the Cheese and Wine social club was my favourite when I was back on campus. How is this any different?
Yeah, I think this is more of an everyday thing. So if you just walk into class every day, you see someone else bring the band, you can be like, oh, that's a new friend that I can just make. So you go up to them, chat to them. That social barrier just isn't there anymore. So it's more of an everyday thing. And around colleges as well. You see someone you can just have an easy chat to them.
Have you been able to validate that an introvert will let someone walk up to you?
Yeah, so
Yes.
Let's give it up for Menti.
Who here wants a mentor? Since COVID, current third and fourth years have been remote learning and are now in person, and we have not accessed any resources or had any guidance. So what are they at risk for if they haven't been mentored and are now doing it? They are entering the workforce without guidance, so they have quiet quitting, corporate culture impact, frequent turnovers, and abandoned learning. They might abandon learning entirely. So based on 11 interviews with our lead users, which are third and fourth year students, we have collected that they are basically busy, they are isolated, they do not have guidance, and there is a risk of failure. They're at a crossroads. They might be at chance of failing unless they have guidance to bring them to passing. Introducing Menti, which is a simplified mentoring platform for isolated students. Really what we're focusing on is accessibility. It is to reduce the time it takes to form a mentorship, and it's to remove the barriers that current options have.
So now let's look at our MVP. So on the screen, you can see a screen recording of us playing around with this platform that we've created for like 5 hours. As you can see, similar to Tinder, you can dislike, like, and super like mentors and connect with them when they accept. On the right, you can see we have push notifications enabled for our phone app alternative as well. Here are a few screenshots of what the badges and achievements slides would look like in the app to help reward the mentees that use this app a lot. On the right, you can see that we have feedback mechanisms enabled for mentees to give feedback about the mentor, and the mentor can give feedback about the mentee. So our three-stage business model looks like this. A mentee would sign up for $12 per year and connect with a mentor. Then they can go to our events that we host at Mentee in person to connect with other mentees and mentors as well. Thirdly, we want to nurture that relationship between mentee and the mentee to help hopefully make them be a mentor in the future. Luckily, we have 5 people signed up already, ready to be mentees right when this app launches. That's crazy. We do have a couple of competitors. The first are mentoring program websites. Okay, we're really low on time. There are also apps that connect mentees and mentors, but the design is really hard. It's really bad, and it's really hard to find mentors.
So your mentees pay $1 a month?
Correct.
Yeah.
$1 per month.
Yeah, and mentors, and where were you looking at sourcing the mentors?
They're free to join, but we're going to look at universities and organizations about entrepreneurship to gain more traction.
Yeah. And retired people, so we're going to call that obviously things to do.
I suppose you kind of touched exactly on this. It sounds like you've got a bit of a Tinder for mentor kind of thing going on. And as with any of these kind of apps, you need both sides to be fully fleshed out. How are you planning on attracting and incentivizing mentors to give up their time? If a uni student busy, imagine what someone working full time is worth mentoring, who's a good mentor. How are you incentivizing those?
Yeah, we're very aware that mentors have little time to spend going through mentees and try to help them. So this application is built for them to make it easy to find mentees and make that process easier. So we couldn't demonstrate it now with our app, but we plan to do videos so that a mentee can record themselves, like just explaining what problem they're facing, and then the mentor can go through each of those, getting a sense of how people are actually, like getting a quick video, and just making it really easy.
Now, as well as retirees being bored, lots of other people are bored out there who might not know shit about anything. So how do you validate those mentors?
Yeah, that's where the feedback platform comes in. Yeah, so we're trying to highlight
Okay, and $57, I don't know if you saw that, but $57 off sales in like 48 hours. Let's give them out in class. Okay, next up we have Italy.
Hey everyone, now that mid-semester break is just around the corner, I want to ask you guys how many of you actually struggle with all the deadlines just coming together all at once, trying to juggle multiple assignments and getting those exams and assignments done. What if I told you I had a solution? So here at Diddley, Guidely, what we do, the pen is that most university students either making a transition or even at uni face a lot of problems juggling assignments all the time. This leads to their anxiety and stress levels. So, why do students want to organize their time? Very simple. We want to have fun and make time for what matters the most. But are we actually good at it? So, our survey says when we asked our students if they struggled with deadlines at least once a semester, 90% of them actually said yes. Doesn't matter you're a full-fledged student or just the first year, everyone struggles at managing their time. So, the magic, title, your very own automated time scheduling app. So what you do is, once you enter a task, you are asked to name the task and set your best estimate, your average estimate, and your most worst estimate of when you finish the time. Based on our algorithm, we give you an estimated time to complete it, and then we input it in your calendar around the events that already exist, right? So, our business model. Our customer segment is aimed around students trying to manage daily assignments, daily tasks. And what the value that we provide them is we provide an automatic assignment scheduling system for the entire semester. And we additionally provide them better mental health by causing reduction in stress and the effort required to plan the entire semester. So, we plan to partner up with universities and residential colleges such as International House, and how we plan to generate revenue is using the academic support programs as subscriptions and using feedback from our users. We plan to integrate it into the university's Blackboard and any other system. So our ask today is actually $15,000 for the feedback that we get from our MVP. So when we validated our solution in the marketplace, which is residential colleges, we found out that 80% of the students, yes, are indeed interested in software that can plan the entire semester for them. We plan to use our MVP and then link it to student timetable directly, improve the UI UX, and inevitably create something that everyone has access to very easily. So this is my team, and together we're guiding, we get things done.
Who's your customer?
Our customer is everyone. So everyone who has an assignment deadline or any kind of deadline, that's our customer.
What are you charging?
See, even though this is a tool that everyone would like to have, it's something that not everyone would like to pay for. So we are aiming at academic support programs in residential colleges and universities who put emphasis on the mental health of students and the prioritization around assignments.
So, saying that, what you just said then, I'll ask my question again. Who's your customer?
Okay.
See, okay.
You know where I'm from?
Yes, I get what you're coming from.
Let me maybe rephrase it. Have you considered a different customer segment? I've heard what you're talking about, and if you could give me a tool that would allow me, for 15 minutes at the beginning of my day, to plan out my entire day or week, I would pay you money for my job. I don't think the uni student is going to do that though.
Exactly. But so if we incorporate that in the academic support program, which is very well structured, where essentially as the student comes in from high school, we're giving them this part of their toolkit so that they're ready to use it as they come in. So in fact, our customer would be the residential colleges, but the end user is still the student.
I think it's great. I just think it's the customer segment. Your business model canvas was on point. I think you had a couple of elements in the customer segment part that would probably be part.
I thought of another question here. Say that Cheese and Wine Club has an event on. Can I? What happens?
See, our system takes the input from your existing calendar. We take your access file, we take it input in our system. So we actually plan for attention registry and using our algorithm, which is PRT program evaluation, we plan around these events, allowing for gaps.
What if it's in plan? What if the Glee guys came up to you and said, hey, we're going to drink?
We reschedule it. Our algorithm would reschedule it based on your availability.
It's a very interesting problem itself. And now we have Be Honest, where they're coming down now. Okay, you have 5 seconds to catch your breath. Okay, coming back, quickly. Perfect. Let's give it up for Be Honest.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Be Honest. Student the attrition rates constitute a significant proportion of lost potential revenue for universities in Australia. According to the Australian Government Department of Education, nationwide there's a 19.5% attrition rate across all the Australian universities, which represents a loss of $6.45 billion revenue annually. And this is further worsened by the recent pandemic. We've identified 5 reasons in the literature for high student attrition rates. They mean unpreparedness, lack of interaction, isolation, poor academic performance, lack of guidance and mentoring, and truancy and indiscipline. Traditional solutions to university attrition rates, such as counselling, workshops, and rehabilitation for students who have fallen behind, are only effective up to a point, leaving much to be desired in the market. Other options, such as personal development apps, market research indicates that these apps lack integration features, lack of accountability, streak-based reward, or gamification, and have a significant design limitation and lack of flexibility in the app. Upon our personal surveys, we found 2/3 of students have issues holding themselves accountable, with 58% of these students confirming motivation, discipline, and lack of consequences as the biggest challenges in staying accountable. Of the survey students, 90% place significant importance on having someone hold them accountable. Our solution, to be honest, is a platform solution to, it's a powerful platform solution to university attrition rates. Be honest is an integrated evidence-based personal development platform designed to improve and enhance student engagement and retention. Our app uses the power of representation and accountability to maximize student productivity and compliance with university courses. This is done by creating an immersive support network, and our platform offers many features that sets us apart from traditional university attrition solutions and self-development apps. Upon initial probing students who are interested in our platform, we registered 5 expressions of interest since completion of the MVP, and we've had very positive affirmation from industry professionals. Our company is well positioned in the tertiary education market, utilizing a reward system featuring accountability buddy network and gamification. And we incorporate many of the self-development app features and social media features and university tools on their educational platform and kind of integrate it into one. Our revenue model represents a B2B enterprise where the company will license the software, platform software to the university, who would then use it, integrate their systems, and then offer it to them.
All right, be honest. My understanding is you guys are trying to reduce the dropout rate for university students. I have 2 questions there. A, should everyone go to university and complete it, or should they go to university and figure out that maybe not for them? And if that is the case, is Be Honest going to change someone's way there? And the second is this a tool for creating a relationship between students or between the university and the student to help keep them accountable? 2 questions.
Alright, so in terms of the actual whether or not everyone should go to uni, that is something we sort of factored in. So we had approximately 20%, I think, dropout rates. We worked on maybe 2% of those or something being actually reasonably just dropped out because they couldn't handle it, sort of thing, and that we'd be able to capture. So we did certainly vote you for that. I've forgotten the second question.
The second question was, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. So your second question was whether this is an interaction between uni and student or student and student. So it would be student and student. And the reason is because we would integrate this system into the university's LMS, and when students use it, they have a feature where they could add their classmates or their cohort mates as their accountability buddy, and that would kind of give an accountability relationship between the 2 students to keep each other on track in completing that assignment. So it's more student to student.
Yeah. Okay, I just had a quick question about integrating into the LMS. Does that form part of your revenue model that you were talking about? that the students themselves aren't paying for the app, but the app is paid for because of that integration of the overall Thanks.
Really pause on that question. Yeah, sorry guys. Trying to cut the line.
It's okay, everyone. It's a problem for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Who wants to go? Okay, who's ready? We have like almost halfway. Get keen. If you haven't gone yet, this means you must be soon. So let's give it up for Sanku.
That's an annoying sound, right? Most of us know the sound or in a different way, and that is in general called sound pollution or noise pollution. Noise pollution in general is a huge problem. It is affecting people worldwide in their productivity, but also their sleep quality, and especially also their mental health. And this is a huge problem because this doesn't only affect a few people. Worldwide, we're speaking of 4.3 billion people in urban regions who are potentially affected by noise pollution. And of all of us here right now in this room, confirm that 56% of us are suffering or are being affected by noise pollution. So the question is, how can we handle or tackle this current problem? And our solution is SoundComp. SoundComp is a pretty simple technology which is more effective, more cost efficient, and less complex than current applications like, for example, noise cancelling. The concept is it's based on Hammond's resonators, which build an array and absorb sound. And this concept can be implemented into wall panels, which then can be built into furniture, windows, or buildings, making it more versatile and cheaper than most of our competitors.
So how did it work out in terms of the market? So with our surveys, we found that at least 20 people are willing to buy this product and reduce noise pollution in their lives. And if we compare to competitors such as the soundproof curtain, that market alone is 2.5 billion. So if we take over our competitors, then it's a big market potential. Additionally, we have spoken to experts in the field, and we believe the best way is a B2B model. So we will sell our product to furniture retailers like IKEA, and they will install our panels into their furniture products. So in terms of the cost and revenue, we'll spend $1,000 to make 5 prototypes, and then with our large-scale manufacturing, it will take around $40 per piece. And people have indicated in our surveys they're willing to spend $120 per pack. So, yeah, so that's not where it ends. So we'll start prototyping in 6 months, then we'll go to larger scale manufacturing, then go to our first furniture retailer, and in 3 years, maybe break even. So that's not where our product will stop. So we will start inside apartment products and furnitures, then we'll move it to outdoor buildings and putting on cladding. And eventually we hope to improve the soundscape of entire cities, reducing noise pollution and improving the quality of life for so many people. So our team has the engineering and scientific expertise needed to understand this technology and design it. We hope that we can get business expertise and
I'll jump in really quickly. You said you got some good feedback from people in the industry.
Direction, these two, Juliet Stein and Maggie Morrison. Maggie Morrison is basically more, she's working with Cisco. But she gave us the idea of these panels. Instead of applying it on the outside of buildings, we can just hide it in furniture, so it's not being affecting the aesthetics of the apartment, but applying this functionality. And also, Juliet Stein was working with smart buildings. He confirmed that this is actually a really good way of improving the quality of the living quality of everyday of a normal person.
Yeah, I love this. I hate noise pollution. I'm really susceptible to it, so build this, not buy it. I'm just curious about how this would be implemented. If you've got a embedded in furniture and whatnot. Have you considered starting off with a different type of market, like selling it into music studios or home music studios specifically?
So the overall problem we want to handle is noise pollution for the everyday person. You can of course go to music studios, but they already have really good materials like these foam-based noise absorbing materials, which are aesthetically not the best thing to put into an apartment. So there are solutions for music studios, but there are no solutions for a normal person.
Yeah, and what about builders themselves? The idea of the furniture manufacturer is great, and you thought about architects. What about, building construction firms? For walls.
So we were thinking about that, but we were worried that they might not be attracted to buying so much panels at once to put on the outside of the building. So instead we could go to the
Yeah, it was 8 millimeters, so we would
Poor Eon's got a whole job. Okay. But this is good, we are getting through it. We are on time, which is hard to do. But excellent. Okay, let's welcome up goal getters.
Remember the business you wanted to start, or was it the fitness goal that you had? Remember you're working towards a GPA, right? Or haven't done it when you started, right? So that's why we're here today, to present to you Goal Getter. Working towards your goal, you find, well, I feel overwhelmed sometimes, right? Or is it, no, it's a fear of failure? Sound familiar? Well, this is some of the insights that we got from interviewing uni students, some of you who are in this room.
Another cause, existing tools don't help. I don't know about you, but every time the top of my phone screen says, you reached time limit from TikTok, I automatically press 15 more minutes today, or when I'm feeling really unproductive, ignore time limits for today. See, procrastination is such a huge issue that I found all these peer-reviewed articles in about an hour. That screenshot is just half of it. Don't bother squinting at the references because I've summarized the main barriers and enablers of procrastination on the right. Now, our team can't cure the procrastination pandemic, but we do provide a personalized, aesthetic, and inclusive product to keep you on track to success. Think Todoist, a Mac, Google Nest Mini, and a holograph all in one.
That's right, not another app for procrastination, right? But that's not what we're presenting to you today. We present to you an entire package that combines both holographic displays, including like a speaker, as well as a holographic lamp, as you can see right there. How this works is that the initial stage of setup, it does incorporate setting up like a work breakdown structure. The initial setup is just for deployment. It doesn't require the user to constantly be on their phone. In fact, it deters the use of being on mobile devices.
Super cool, right? 7 people in this room have already signed up to GoGetter. For $10 a month, customers commit to achieving their goals and gain access to all app features. In addition to what the video showed, you can video call other users with similar goals, customize motivational audio to play from pulling it down, and customize what hologram image is projected to reflect where you want to go. So what we have is a guy who wants to graduate. So governments and organizations were wanting to increase productivity, pay us, and we will create a prototype of products that users will pay monthly subscription fees in 5 years, both individuals and organizations will be in our customer base accumulating to $100,000 in sales. So Shu, why are we capable?
Well, why are we capable?
Alright, I'll jump straight in. Why is a holographic tool the right approach to stopping procrastination?
Well, what we found both in existing research as well as the interviews that we conducted for uni students for University Entrepreneurship, they lack motivation when they're not able to visualize the goal or constantly have a representation of what that outcome is. Because they do already have existing applications for, like, to make it, applications for breaking down what their lessons and stuff like that are. But they don't have something that visually represents what this is.
Another?
Do I have to put my phone into it?
No, it's just for them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what I was just.
That'll probably improve productivity.
Yeah. No, that was my question. I was just looking at it and I was like, okay, so you're providing a device with it for the projection capability.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And you've done the engineering design for that device as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, we have experience in human-centered computer interaction as well as UI design. And so, like, with that kind of, we design like technology to enrich the lives of people that we work or users in a way that responds to their human values, like what's important to them.
So, how is this different from any other productivity tool? Why is this better?
Productivity tool or applications, because then what we found so far, especially with the interviews that we've conducted, they've always had an application that, okay, we start this month, by the next month it's like out the door compared to what the forest have or to-do list. So what this does is it gives you like it sits on your desk and it's always on unless you unplug it. Similar to your Google speaker or something, it's always present. And so the goals you want to achieve are very visible in your environment.
Okay, great job for that. I think we all have goals, hopefully. We are, and you're all hitting goals. Okay, so up next we have Sessio. So,
ladies and gentlemen, how do you remember? Do you remember your grandparents? How did you remember them? Were they fit and are they able to fit enough to spend a lot of quality time with you so that you have a positive memory with them? Or are they like sick, frail, lying or bed, not being able to do anything? Do you want this for your future children, for them to have a personal connection with your parents that help raise you up? This is the coolest thing that you can do in life, right? Even if we don't win tonight, promise me one thing, use my solution. Get a personal trainer for your parents. Why? Because most of the time, they don't want to exercise. The future generation thinks exercising is a very hard part. If people are exercising that much, like you would have a lot more, less people die in COVID because they are a lot healthier. Nonetheless, we know for a fact that the elderly generation don't want to exercise, and the other things it's hard for them to exercise because they feel it's unsafe. The best way to do it is with a personal trainer. And for them to get into that step, we as children should take upon a responsibility and accountability and help them doing that by hiring a personal trainer for them. What does our app look like? So before you do that, promise me when you go back, you feel like if you want what I want, hire a personal trainer, and therefore my job in this hackathon is done. Anyway, next thing, right? So what this app can do is like the children pays for a personal trainer. You start off with a session of personal trainer, sit down, think about it. Right, my parents has this medical issue. They like to do running. They like to do this. They don't like to do like hard strenuous exercises. It makes them sweat and increase their heart rate, which is what you need for old people to have a longer life. That's what you need. But you're not going to convince your parents. You're not going to attend it with Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2 sessions. It's going to be a long system. That's where this app comes in. You're not going to be there all the time. You're working, you're studying, but you've got this app. We're going to help you do this. Therefore, we're going to connect the personal trainer to someone to your parents. And the thing is, the personal trainer is being trained, right? You've got a lot of things happening. Like it's the PT level is a lot harder than that. It's not harder than a normal PT. It's got 1 level under physio. This is a right training for that. Validation. through this hackathon, right? One of the other thing is not here. They already bought home and then like took their parents out to put their parents out for a walk. What does this show? This shows that our older parents will exercise if given the right conditions, right? So aside from that, the existing PTs are moving into this market just last year, mainly because the old and old and obese people, the old people that do not have enough exercise, they are the ones that face the hardest problem, the hardest problem. Interview results, I talked to a lot of people in this room, and you all agree you're happy to pay because the personal training sessions are between $30 to $90 only, and it's not a lot. Yeah, so, and this is what we're working on. I say, but then it's like, well, this is the facts. You want this, right? You want
Alright, I'm gonna just own the fact that I'm sitting here a little confused. I'm not entirely sure what your business does, but from what I understand, personal trainers are good.
Yep.
Cost between $30 and $90.
Yep.
Trying to get uni students to buy it for all.
or people working, like you're living away from your parents, but then do you know if you say that your parents are also if your parents are staying at home, do they have enough exercise every single week? You don't know that. This is what we do. We contact them to the nearest personal trainer. We slowly convince them because although they are mobile, a lot of them have this mental break. It's like, oh, personal trainers are only for elite level athletes. They don't think about it that way. Us, we're grown up, we're on Instagram, we know for fact personal trainers are very good. And a lot of us have gone through personal training sessions before, and it helps us, and we want that for our parents so that they can achieve what we want.
I saw on one of your slides that you we talked about where you were looking at getting your personal trainers from, like medical practices and a couple of other.
So we're collaborating with the healthcare providers, personal trainers, as well as physiologists as well. So if you look at this one, this is platform looks like. So people can search for sports and exercise physicians and see their trainers, personal trainers as well.
It's a work in progress. But nonetheless,
and their children can track in the last one. Their children can track how their parents are progressing through their choices.
So it's an accountability tool to
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, and from like sedentary,
Dad.
easy, easy, and then you get a report card. You get a report card and tell the team and say, look, mom, you're not training hard enough. You're not training hard enough. You don't have your game. Like what you did today.
We're also trying to online communities, which is like personal trainers.
Who needs 5 minutes pictures? Okay, here we go. Next up, we have Rise and Shine. So let's give it up for Rise and Shine.
Oh, hey everyone, sorry I'm a bit late. Has that ever happened to you? Because it happened to this guy. Because just yesterday, this guy came 2 hours late. Why? He floated and went to bed for 2 more hours. Who does that? I wouldn't want that to happen to me. I wouldn't want that to happen to you. So we sent out a survey. 38 people said that they wanted their morning to be more productive. Now we interviewed 10 more people. They said that if there was an application that could get them out of bed without needing a snooze button, but also to make them do a task that trained their mind so that they're energized for the rest of the day, they would get that out. Now that leads to Rise and Shine, where you rise out of bed and shine for the rest of your day.
Now, there are 3 main important things that we want you to get out from our app. First and foremost is that we want you guys to be productive and to be efficient in your own mornings. Second of all, this is pretty self-explanatory. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be living healthy lifestyles and to go out of it living a healthy life in your ages and not develop chronic pain. Third and foremost, upon using our app, we want you to create a habit. We want you to create a habit of not pressing this snooze button and not speaking.
So our application is an aesthetic, appealing, and accessible mobile application that gamifies the waking up and staying up experience. It incorporates activities with the alarm system. So the user creates an account, and after creating the account, the user is able to create alarms and toggle to deactivate or activate them. And when the alarm rings, they have to complete an activity such as shown in this example, where the user has to take the phone, walk to the bathroom, pick up their toothbrush, and scan the toothbrush in order to stop the alarm sound.
So everyone needs alarms, but we have kind of coded on uni students because we know we're obviously in class. We sometimes when we wake up early, it's super groggy, and it's really intense studies. So we believe that by targeting students, they are the people that will reap the most benefit from this application. We'll also get like unis, colleges, all these people to start pushing the apps, and that's one of our ways to get revenue.
And we know that there's a lot of other apps and games, such as Alarming, that we know produces something similar, in which they use game-based products to set through their alarms as well. But the thing that is that we are different in the fact that we use stakes, and you know, people want stakes, people want incentives, people want chickens. Who doesn't like chickens, yeah? With this app, you can create a farm and cool a farm. We know that based on our research over the past few days, is that people are more likely to look forward to something if they have something to gain.
Alright, so these are our 4 main revenue streams. So in our purchases, we can get more farm animals to make your farm bigger, and that in turn is you waking up like every day.
So a bit like play to earn and stuff, except get up, get going and study. So learn to earn, but get up. Yes, which is a model that due to COVID and Philippines and Axie Infinity, we know is a workable business model when you get outside of the original type. Is that the kind of model that you, okay.
Habitual snoozer here. I hate it. It's one of my least popular personal traits of mine. I love the idea. I love the approach to how you try and gamify the wake up experience. I've heard it before though. So how is this different from the bath mats or the exploding thing we have to go get puzzle pieces back together? They're all kind of the same ilk. How are you approaching this? Where's the point of difference?
So, what about, with our application, we have planned features that we plan to implement in future updates. For example, we have customization like features which will make the app experience more accessible for people, for example, with color blindness. And we also plan to implement a leadership leaderboard. So friends can connect with each other, compare how many number of chickens they have, and that creates a competitive nature which will encourage people to stay motivated and be consistent and wake up early and stay remain.
Like, yeah, in the future, we hope that we'll get sponsors from people. So if you earn enough chickens, you can review those chickens for your reward program. So if you get enough chickens, you can like maybe ask PCA to sponsor us. So then like let's say 100 chickens is like $2 towards it.
Good job. I love the vision in there too. Okay, so next up we have Quill. Okay, so let's welcome Quill.
Have you ever had to validate data? I have, it sucks. Humans aren't built to compare products. I work for a medical startup. We manufacture products in Malaysia. When we want to create a new product, we first have to create device identification data, which is essential for regulatory compliance. With that data, we can then send all the manufacturing documents to the manufacturer and they'll create our product. But when it comes back, we get a manufacturing record, which is a history of that product's manufacturing. We then have to painstakingly compare all the data in that manufacturing record against our device identification data to check for errors. This has to be done by humans because it's a very regulated industry. It sucks. So this is the current procedure. We've got an Excel file and the file we're comparing. We have to go one by one, checking each row and checking the numbers match up. It takes a long time. Our last batch took 46 hours and that's expensive. Not only that, it's also error prone. We've decided on a solution. At Quill, we want to make it more efficient, quicker and easier. What we do, we display underneath the text field what the text should be based on a file that you can create. So we've got a template creator and you can create a template for your document, displays directly underneath what it should be. When you're ready to verify, Press space and it will highlight it green, adding traceability to the system. You can then say a file is wrong, highlight any errors, which then when you send the document back to the manufacturer, you can easily highlight those errors and get them checked out. We've seen or estimated a 20% improvement on efficiencies with up to 50% with additional features such as batch processing, where you can go through one process, one file, and immediately transition to the next file without any document opening. We've also got tools such as OCR, so optical character recognition, to help simplify the process further and further increase these efficiencies. We're hoping to get up to a 50% efficiency increase compared to traditional processes. So you can see up here, the data is being processed, and then we get a full file at the end, showing that the data is being read accurately. Regarding pricing, we're pricing on a per document basis, so the amount of documents you process is how much you pay. Working off that, we've got an estimated savings of $330 a month on our 50 documents a month, and that's based on a 20% efficiency with a $50 per hour paid for the person reviewing those documents. We also roll over our credits, so we have no incentive for you to unsubscribe, you can maintain your subscription. The medical device market is huge. Worldwide, it's $750 billion. In Australia, in small medium enterprises, which we're focusing on, as they don't have the full vertically integrated supply lines, we're looking at a $6.5 billion industry. The competition. They all require a high degree of vertical integration, and they're complete supply line management systems, and they're expensive. We're cost effective, we don't require integration, we're intuitive, and we're platform agnostic, working in a web tool. We've also got opportunities for horizontal growth into adjacent fields, such as aerospace, occupational health and safety, and manufacturing of automotives. Our team, we have Tom, our developer, Andy, who works in growth, and me, who's project manager. We've also thought about security. Obviously, handling IP is sensitive topics, so all our files are served from
Love it, massive problem. I experience this on a weekly basis, so you guys are on the money here. Here's the question: how are you recording or keeping track of this? Is there an app behind this?
So it's a web app in React. It's served to your browser, so it's all run locally, so none of your files are uploaded, and then your files are saved locally, so there's no server interaction apart from validation with your payment of the subscription.
Right. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I've spent years of my life doing this shit, so you guys can save heaps of time. It's such a simple concept, it's nailed a key thing. I suppose my question there is, we've clearly got a background in medical.
Yep.
How much of like the vertical markets have you looked at? Obviously engineering is a massive one.
Yeah, we've also looked at like exam marking.
Yep.
So obviously you've got an exam, all the answers are going to be the same, bam, 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 tick through, and you can verify that someone's actually checked each answer.
Tick and flick, O to S.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
And our template ability is basically accessible for any industry.
Really? I got nothing else. These guys really.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
Okay, guess what, guys? That was number 10. So we are well past halfway. So don't get tired. Shake your head, shake your limbs, shake your arms, because we get there. We get it. Okay. Speech, okay. And now we have speech. Okay, so number 11. Can we welcome Speechy?
So have you ever been in this situation before? You have a speech, you get in front of an audience, and suddenly everything falls apart. In fact, public speaking invokes words such as these in people's minds: fear, anxiety, or stress. From the people that we surveyed, over 60% of them have problems in public speaking, with the root cause being identified as either lack of skill, confidence, or practice. Problems so big that the National Institute of Mental Health says that approximately 75% of all people experience stresses in public speaking. And the Australian market for professional development and business coaching apps alone is estimated at $5.3 billion and is rapidly growing. Our solution to this problem is Speechy, your one-stop coach for public speaking. You simply open the app, indicate if you want to prepare for a speech or just practice your impromptu speaking in general. The app gives you a prompt, records you for 60 seconds, and analyzes your response. Then it gives you detailed feedback with actionable insights on how you can improve. The public reception to this has been great.
75% of our survey respondents indicating a willingness to use the app. Industry response has been far greater than we expected. In fact, we have Madeline Monmel from TEDx UQ, she's their co-director, indicating that she thinks this app could be used with their speakers to help them prepare and better execute their presentations. We also have Andrew Schmidtly from the UQ Business School indicating a desire to package this app in their offerings to corporates in terms of professional development packaging that they do, which is a brand new revenue stream for us, which we haven't explored yet. In terms of revenue, Speechy is free for everyone to use. We have a premium offering with a few advanced features, a dedicated speech coach, and tailored topics such as for a job interview to help you nail that job and potentially change your lives. We validated this model. We in fact sat down with one of the teams over the weekend, sat through their practice speech, and gave them feedback on how they can improve, which is our business model. They said that if it was a more complex report with detailed metrics, they'd be happy to pay for it. We do have competitors, but Speech is the only one that gives you opportunities to practice frequently, gives you very tailored, specific feedback, and is affordable, underpinned by a complex machine learning model. Just over the weekend, in addition to doing that MVP and mockups, we've built a technical prototype with the machine learning model using a disclosure detection neural net, and it is functional and working. We plan to finish up there and scale later this year and into next. We've also identified a fantastic potential revenue stream in leveraging our neural net and the data behind it to give us more diversified income. This is the team behind Speechy. We have a range of experiences in engineering, business dev, UI, UX, and behavioral science. We've come together to make Speechy a reality.
Let me see if I got this right. You're using machine learning and artificial intelligence to analyze people who are giving a speech, essentially doing an analysis on that and then creating a report.
Correct.
If that's the case, have you considered applying this to the finance context? Doing the exact same thing for CEO and seeing if the sentiment of that financial report that he's talking about on the news is good?
That's absolutely great. And again, whole new market in terms of the enterprise and working corporations, with their CEOs or their executives training and making sure that they're conveying the meaning that the corporation wants to convey. So again, a fantastic potential expansion path for us.
How refined is the email?
At the moment, like the rough demo that I put together in 48 hours is just using existing APIs. But effectively, you know, there's pre-trained models that we're using as well as the Google APIs. As we collect data from users, we'll be able to then slowly shift into our own models as we develop that out, expand, and also improve.
So the more users you get, the better your algorithm gets, the better the service.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, cool. That's good.
First thing that comes up to me is Scottish.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great feedback. So in our interviews, we have gotten a comment of how we're going to deal with varying accents, expertise, or experience. And again, we will be building diagnostic tests with the application so you can establish a baseline for that individual. So again, you can compare it against that baseline and not an average English speaker. We also have future plans to build in additional languages apart from just English, but that's where it's
$20 seems a bit cheap. Have you thought about going higher?
We have. Well, we settled on $20 because it seemed like comfortable price and approachable for like uni students. Because job interviews, we got.
I've been speaking all weekend, so I know that public speaking is a thing. And great job to them. Great job actually putting on such a demonstration. Okay, so now we have Cooker, right? So, you want to click up? Okay, super. So let's welcome Cooker.
So I graduated from State University in June. I started working full-time as a software engineer for a machine learning company and I moved out. I found that every single day I was eating out, getting manual, getting Uber Eats, and never cooking. As a result, I spent a fortune, I put on a lot of weight, and you feel it's terrible all the time. And I thought maybe it's just me. But apparently, from talking to people through over 100 surveys, and through interviews, I found other people have this issue as well. And through, a team, including an actual cook, of going through, actually talking to more people, we found that the real core problem really came down to the fact that, People have tight budgets, they have limited time, they don't know about cooking a lot, they're not dietitians or nutritionists, and so they don't have all that information. They might have a pretty average looking kitchen, they might live a little bit further out, and this creates an inequality in their everyday cooking experience. They don't have the same opportunities that Gordon Ramsay has, even he has the best recipes, the best ingredients, the best kitchens, all that. And so exploring this problem, as a software engineer, I thought, you know what, there is a way that automation or machine learning tools can really help. And they can provide a platform that can really enhance the experience of cooking. So we developed an MVP that sort of shows the really sort of basic examples of what a machine learning thing is like. If you'd like to try a demo afterwards, feel free to use. But it was just a demonstration of showing, you put in information, what your weight loss goals are, what your general diet is, what your nutritional info, what type do you want to have, more high protein diet, how long do you want to live, all these things, what budget do you have, what type of kitchen do you have, and you generate with a classification model. These are the best recipes that you can cook. You're living in Kettering, great, you get all the ingredients from this nearby supermarket, and that can really help you. Now this can be something done as a sort of freemium business model, as a simple feature, but a more advanced feature would involve much more machine learning tools. What if you saw this awesome French dish on your way home? You took a picture of it and it told you, Robbie, with your budget, with your beginner cooking experience, and with your access to these ingredients, this is the best recipe to make that image. So that's an example. Obviously the platform could be much more advanced, much more fully fledged. And we had only a time, but you're still free to come try it then if you'd like to. Whilst there are many competitors in the space, obviously what we're looking at is being more affordable, more accessible, and more helpful overall as a thing. The unique value proposition of Cooker is that while other platforms don't take into consideration details like your budget, your lifestyle, you don't have all this time to cook, you only have time in the kitchen in your apartment. Our one is catered to take these factors in, to provide using cutting-edge technology the best recipes, advice, and tutorials on how to do it. So we've got a team here of me as a software engineer, business analyst. I love this. There's some, I feel, some truth to the fact that no one cooks like grandma anymore. So I think you've got a great concept here. Here's my question. If I open my fridge and I look at all the ingredients I got there, could your tool tell me what I can cook? Yeah, so obviously part of making a more fully fledged platform, absolutely you could sort of say, you know what, in my fridge I've only got mayonnaise, leftover veggies, some old chicken, all that stuff. So yeah, these are definitely cultural salad, right? Platform. But yeah, it's really about taking the fact that you might not have access to the best ingredients. If someone in poor neighborhoods where there's not maybe a great supermarket nearby, we can sort of use the ability to say, hey look, based on these ingredients, you can still make these dishes. Yeah. And it's sort of eliminating that inequality of availability to cook and access to cooking that rich celebrities on TV tend to actually have and showcase the rest of the world, while the rest of us don't necessarily have.
How many subscriptions do you get over the past 1 year?
So we've got 6 sign-ups in the app. Obviously, because it's an MVP, we haven't got any paid customers yet. But we've got 6 sign-ups, and we felt good with what we could do over a day's work. But yeah, the aim would be sort of to make the fully fledged platform, get more users, and sort of really aim for that sort of paying user base.
I love the HelloFreshes of the world. I use them all the time, but there's just some meals that do not hit with me.
Right.
Your machine learning algorithm start figuring out what I like and then start recommending dishes that I've never heard of, know of, and may be interested in.
Yeah, so I think the best part of this is because we're sort of accumulating data through users, we have the capability of sort of saying, building enough data to suggest better models and things. And what's great about this platform is sort of, well, HelloFresh and these things are, I could pay $200 a month for a month, you give $200 for that to use it, I have to actually cook out what it's like. This sort of is a very quick and available option to say,
I feel like I'm the one wasting time here. Creative optimist. Food is always an interesting problem, especially if you're living out on your own. So, let's welcome the next group, Instant Tutor.
up late at night studying for an exam the next day. The night goes on, you're working through your practice exams, it gets to about 2 a.m, but you're just stuck on the problem. You look online, you can maybe find the solution, but there's no one there available to explain it to you. In a post-COVID world, we're all used to having services on demand, not just waiting for things, and we're used to a business model of subscriptions where you can access something as many times as you like, as long as you pay the monthly subscription fee. Now there are, and these are some examples that you may be familiar with, such as Uber, Spotify, many names come to mind. And there are existing tutoring services already available. I mean, you've got your neighbour guy next door who does tutoring. That can be quite expensive and not accessible for every family. You've got things like Khan Academy where it explains a range of solutions, but it doesn't explain your specific solution, and there's no one-on-one interaction. And then you've got things like Chegg where you can actually upload a question, but it's not instant, they take time to get back to you, and they're not actually explaining the question to you, they've just given you an answer. This introduces our MVP, called Instant Tutor, where you can come online, sign up, input your name, and your grade, subject, topic of interest, upload the problem that you're actually working on, and then immediately you'll be connected with a tutor who is available 24/7, and they'll you select the person you want to use, and it's a low-cost solution as well. So, to do some market validation, we sent out surveys to 80 people over the last few days, and we found that most people actually haven't used tutors much in their life. They find that it's a bit too expensive, or maybe it just doesn't fit in with their schedule, or it just never really worked out for them. And after speaking with people and introducing them to our solution, they've suggested that this would be a service that they would be interested in. So we've come up with a cost basis of $90 per person per month, and we've come to this relatively affordable cost based on the fact that we're using offshore tutors. So connecting with experts in their field who are able to work for $4 to $6 per hour, which is more than what they would be earning in their given field in their local area. Based on 6 months, we believe we can connect with 5,000 students targeting high schools and get them to sign up for the $90 per month. And over several years, we can expand into further markets such as tertiary education and markets such as the US, New Zealand, and the UK. This is the return on investment for parents, is they're going from maybe being able to afford 4 hours a month at a $50 an hour range. But if you were given an opportunity where there was no variable cost for tutoring, how many hours would you do in a month? Our survey respondents came up with an error of 10.5 hours per month. The total value that we're delivering is like
So you guys, yeah, go.
How are you looking at validating the quality of the tutors, which is your central part of the system?
That's an excellent question, very important question. We're going to have a full-time dedicated onboarding team who are familiar with the curriculum and also work on developing the tutors' personal development in terms of their ability to speak English well and as well as their ability to develop their curriculum.
So you mentioned your first target customer group were high school students. They're in class between 8 and 3. Most of them are not awake at 3 in the morning, so there's no need for a 24-hour service. Why tout the 24-hour service? And second part, how do you deal with the 3 to 6 p.m. when everyone's doing homework?
So with the calculations that we did, we actually generated a model. From that survey we completed, we found out what time students are usually studying and the quantity of students that are studying like that. With our MVP, it would be a rollout of a free system, so we can further quantify that data and confirm it. And then from that, we can figure out what tutors are on, at what times. With the peak times we figured out, for our 5,000 person student model, we need about 85 tutors on at that 8 to 12 p.m. time. Are those tutors still employees?
They would effectively be contracted similar in the way that Uber operates with drivers, in that they're connected to the company, but they're not technically employed.
I think there is an advantage there from the offshore because of the language. You can have, it's not just English. Your experts could be expert in native tongues, which could help explain it a little bit easier. So, and there's $4 difference is way better than 40 points.
Yeah. And
it's a good opportunity for both.
They really smash it down. I feel like the 5-minute mark, like every time I'm just like, I want more, I want more, I want more. So good job for that, and good job for getting that through. Okay, next up we have Encode. Okay, so give me your attention again as we welcome Encode.
Thanks, guys. We are Encode, and we're building an AI-generated digital changing room. So can anyone tell me what the similarities between these people are? Can anyone tell me what the similarities between these people are? It's actually that none of them exist. They are all generated by AI. And such is the advancements in modern AI-generated models that with a simple text prompt, you can generate photorealistic images in seconds. So we're going to use this technology and we're going to retrain some of the open source generative AI models, and we're going to take inputs of people's faces and of articles of clothing, and we're going to generate photorealistic images of them wearing those outfits in different contexts. So the problem that we've set out to tackle is that when you're purchasing clothes online, it's difficult to know how they look and fit. And for merchants, this leads to reduced revenue and the returns eat into their margins. So our solution is a little widget that sits on the front end of e-commerce stores, and when users click it, they will be able to upload images of themselves and then see photorealistic images of them wearing that outfit. They can even generate specific custom situations. So accompanying this will be a mobile app that basically provides users with an archive of all the different outfits that they have tried on. They'll be able to go through and look at all the different images we generated and even generate more custom images for themselves. Once we've built up our user base and our network of retailers, we will then start to create a LiDAR scanner 3D technology that sits in the app that allows us to take accurate body measurements of people, which we can then translate into size charts and enable people to understand how something will actually fit. In the app as well, we'll be able to look at people's taste profiles, and we'll be able to basically give them recommendations for new outfits that they could try. So the business model for this inherently is a double-sided marketplace, and we think that we can build a virtuous network effect where the more stores we have, the more customers we generate, and this tends towards monopoly. So in terms of the business model, we'll have tiered subscription pricing, but we think that we can average $2,000 as a monthly SaaS revenue per merchant. And in order to get to an enormous valuation and revenue numbers, we only need a small amount of the total merchants using our service. So we only need 8,000 of the 9 million retail merchants that exist. So we'll build a self-serve API and a Shopify app integration. And we've also spoken to retailers, and they have said that they would be happy to pay us $2,000 a month. So our team can really execute on this idea. Luca is a self-taught software engineer and designer. Izzy is a software engineer.
Big problem is, not the only guys trying to whack at it either. I think you kind of answered it, but I did want to clarify, how are you going to work around the rigging? Getting people who may have slightly weird dimensions that you can't always see in a 2D photo. How are you going to handle that?
Yeah, so the first step is to basically build the user base just with photos and images first, which is very scalable. And then when you start to move into the LiDAR scanning, you can actually get a 3D scan of someone's body, and you can incorporate that into the models. So over the long term, you can train the models to take into account that kind of thing.
Have you thought about the marketing for your e-commerce widget, the channels that you?
Yeah, so basically, like, there's a Pareto distribution in e-commerce sales, so a small number of retailers have all the customers, and so getting onto their front end basically assures you a massive base of users. And so it's really targeted B2B sales, and then on the consumer front, like, it's just a
Are you charging consumers? So if I'm
Yeah, and the hope is that it increases their metrics, so less returns, more conversion.
Initially, certainly the first ones, and then if they're all taken up, which wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
Then that advantage is weakened, but still, yeah. Good conversion.
So how are you intending to go viral with consumers?
Well, we believe that inherently being able to generate images of yourself wearing something is interesting and through word of mouth, but also by having it on the front end of any particular store.
Oh, fun. We just keep flying these. Okay, next up we have elderly. Okay, but how are we all feeling? Like, we're almost at the end. 2 more after this. Exciting! Who's excited? Put your hand up. Almost there. Now let's do it up for elderly.
Alright, raise your hands if you have an elderly member of your family that you really care for. Alright, it's good to see some hands there. Sooner than we realize, we're going to have to be the primary carers for our parents. I want you to picture this. 10 to 20 years in the future, you've got a full-time job, you've got kids, you've got a lot of responsibilities, but then your mom falls. She really hurts her knee, she's got to be on frequent medication, and you just don't have a way to check for her when you're doing your day-to-day tasks. This is very stressful, and what you need is something like elderly. Our market is just that, the stressed family caregivers. According to the ABS, over 90% of the elderly are still living independently. So this gives us over 1 million Australian families that we can target. Our solution is an affordable, non-intrusive monitoring system for families or caretakers of these independent elderly. These are just a few of the features that we're looking to implement within the near future. Customer validation has given us a lot of constructive feedback and allowed us to pivot to get to where we are now. We've spoken to nearly 20 people via surveys, done over 5 interviews, and found that over 80% of the people we spoke to are keen to use our product. So much so that over 2 people gave us actual pre-sale income for when we developed the product. So let's run a quick demo using our team. So they're going to represent the elder who's already taken his medication once today but needs to take it again. So the judges have the UI of how it's going to look. So the elder's walking to go and take his medication, and on the judge's UI, they'll be able to see, oh, there he took his medication for the day. So they can go on with their day without the stress of worrying about that. Business model is $399 upfront for the hardware, which is the readers that go throughout the house. $29.99 subscription ongoing, which includes a package of 5 of those readers. The rollout includes further networking, working with community groups in the areas of Facebook marketing, and we believe word of mouth will play a big role. Our team has diverse skills from business, developing, all the way to designing and deep passion for the space. With the winnings for today, we plan to order our first inventory bulk order, fulfill our customers who've already placed an order, and continue developing the product with the features we showed earlier. Thank you.
Hands up here who's seen a Disney movie who's got a cantankerous grandfather.
Who's got a cantankerous grandfather?
How are you going to actually get him to take his pills and not feed him to the neighbour's dog, so we get him to eat the healthy meal as opposed to,
Yeah, no, that's a good distinguishing. It's not actually going to, change any actions. It's sort of more so as an assurance to help the stress of those family members who know that their loved one needs to take those recurring tasks, and then they sort of just have that extra layer of knowing that they're doing the right thing.
Does Granddad have to report that he's taking the pills?
No. So
No, yeah.
Mine got seen on, because it was quite quick, but basically, Granddad would be wearing the tracker white thing that would be Bluetooth enabled. And as you can see, I just walked up next to the tracker and recorded that I was there. We can further see that improved with either thermal imaging or wearables such as watches and monitoring their movements through gyroscopes or other devices.
Have you considered this solution in a completely different context? Take it out of elderly care, take it into somewhere else?
Yes.
What is that?
In-house hospitals.
Yep.
So with in-house hospitals, doctors and nurses have to go to the patient's house at least either once a week or once a month, depending on the condition. So, and the main reason when we talk to those nurses, or we couldn't talk to hospitals unfortunately, is mainly just to monitor and make sure talk with the family, right, and talk with the patient, are they all right? And this way, if we integrate with in-house hospitals, the doctor and nurses can monitor them live in the hospital and can talk to them only if there's an emergency or something specific like that.
Big market. Yeah, and with the way that aged care in Australia is going, more and more will be in those statistics of the people staying at home. Therefore, the younger group who are already way too busy will be looking for solutions. So you've done well to come up with something for a real problem that is growing, because us baby boomers, you know, we're hitting the market. And
can I ask you a personal question?
How old am I?
No,
you
no,
said
no.
I'm a baby boomer.
Well, we discussed earlier, you're not retired, right?
Yeah, I'm unretired.
If your family came to you and said, here, here's this device where so we can keep track of you what you want.
Well, I'd go, look, I want that auto Bluetooth recognition because, you know, I'm wearing a Fitbit, that's good enough.
Right, yeah, my question.
Can you combine it with something else? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want like another device.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
This one's already wasting away my skin. So,
Here's the challenge, boys. All right, well done.
Before they go away, another round of applause. 500 free sale, $500. I haven't seen that amount in a weekend of startups in a long time. Okay, that's good. Okay. Next up, we have. I'm gonna go read it. We have Let's Go. So. Okay. 5 seconds.
Frustrated, pessimistic, embarrassed to be using it. Yet, upwards of 50% of 18 to 40-year-old Australians say that they're at the mercy of this product, online dating apps. I'm one of them. It's undeniable that online dating apps are an integral part of our everyday life. In fact, online dating is now the most common way in which heterosexual and homosexual couples meet. But getting to the point of actually meeting someone you really vibe with on this platform, like Tinder and Bumble, is an absolute slag for most. In fact, there's a specific term for this. It's called dating burnout. Anyone heard of this? No one. Maybe it's just me burning out and the 80% of other people burning out. Because in a recent survey, 80% of online dating users reported that they were feeling the burn. And even if burn isn't just about feeling sorry for yourself that you haven't met your cutie yet. Dating burnout is linked to mental health issues like depression and anxiety that actually impact how people go about their daily lives. With so many people actually using dating apps, dating burnout is truly an everyday disruption in our modern day society. So what contributes to dating burnout? We surveyed over 50 people and interviewed 5 individuals between 19 to 41 years of age. Each of these interviews went over an hour. They have a lot to say. In a nutshell, you small talk forever and ever, rarely ever meeting these people. And when you finally meet, you realize you're really not a match. Because matching people solely based on photos with things like Tinder and Bumble is probably not the best way to really find a person. All in all, online dating is really not fun. But this is a real problem when you try and connect with people, because having fun is one of the best ways to form meaningful connections. It's scientifically proven. It increases trust, it fosters communication, and science says that there are 2 key ingredients to fun. Actively engaging in something you enjoy doing with someone and doing it spontaneously. And importantly, different people have different things that they find fun. So this is how we did it. Instead of the traditional focus on contrived photos, the main thing that users saw when browsing their options is this. a catchy little word that proposes something fun that they can actively do together, like, let's crack on this weekend at the hackathon with their projects. To make sure that there's a sense of spontaneity, the activity proposed needs to happen sometime within the next 48 hours. And our validation interview suggests though that people have different comfort levels of how spontaneously they're willing to meet someone. So then, with some people who are willing to have more comfort, they will be our paid users. They can pay for premium to have more insights into the profiles of each of these people. So far, we've already tested this out manually by setting up profiles for 10 great guys, and we've already had 3 matches. Also, we've had
Do you know who you did this at before?
We looked into it and there was nothing particularly like this exactly where it's like, let's do something, let's go. It's everything is like within a week. There's no time limits on it. There's someone working on it at the moment.
So when you put something that said let's do something, you already know the person, or do you not know the person?
No, so it's kind of like Tinder and Bumble where you want to do something fun and meet someone new, but you don't want to chat with them endlessly and meet and have nothing to talk about.
Yep, cool, excellent.
I have big questions around safety.
Yeah, so that was the question we had everyone asked.
Yeah.
So we would implement a feature like Tinder where you actually there is like an AI that scans your face and matches it to the photos you've uploaded to make sure you're actually the person. You also don't get told where you're going at a particular business until you've agreed to meet. And that would cover the basic stuff, but then with Tinder and Bumble, it's saying you don't really know who they are until you meet them.
I think this is great. I haven't online dated in a decade, so it's probably moved since I've used it, but I love the idea. I'd love to make new friends this way. I'm always down for just a crazy, tell me something you're doing, let's go.
Well, until like literally now people submitted this, we were actually doing a friends idea, and then it was pivoted a pitch.
Yeah.
It's easier to have the bigger
I think I'd go back from online dating to like social, because this is great fun for if you got mates, especially in the mates group, like hey, I'm going for a beer, let's go.
Yeah, our plan is to really take it to so that's like a little guide that's just for
I know you're a bit restless, I know you'll get a break. Just hold on, 5 more minutes. This is the last one. Yeah, last one.
Hi everyone, I'm Fred. Let me ask you one question. Have you ever stayed in library for long and feel exhausted and need a nap for like maybe like 20 minutes to get refreshed? Well, I stayed in campus pretty a lot recently, so I really need to lay down to get a nap and refresh my mind and body. However, I couldn't find any way to do that. So I'm wondering whether I'm the only person to have the experience. So I did a survey asking people how and where do you sleep or nap on campus. Most of them say they will sleep on the table, but what's the problem of it? So definitely, of course, neck and back pain, and it definitely will be harmful for your body in a long period. So as I researched, the most comfortable posture for human body is laying down. So I want to create a product for students to lay down to take a quality nap. So my product structure includes a map and a cover. So this is the exact map in market that is very light and very thin and is well designed for human body. And this is the structure of the cover. And this is the image that is very similar to our product. So the cover has a color that protects your eyes from the light and also keep your privacy and also warn other people that you are sleeping here. So I also taxed the space availability. So I put 2 boxes that exactly take the space that I would expect our products would be. And yeah, as we could expect, there are pretty much space on campus available to set up our network. And our target is focusing on students who stay long on campus and live far from campus and need to take a nap, lay down to take a nap on campus. As I see, during exam period, there are at least 40 students will be our users. And our current product is NAPOD, but it's too expensive. And I know some students will put the shares together, but it's taking other students' seats. Our product in general, from a student perspective, is very affordable and is very convenient, comfortable, and help you to study more efficiently. And from a university perspective, it's a really good student service and motivate people to come to campus more often and stay longer. So this is our team. And I set a price at $50, but you can also rent it if you don't want carriers for $5 per hour. And for our next step, after you get permission from UQ to set things, we ask students to use our products for free and collect some feedback and improve the products in details. And then we start to our second commercial show. And now we are focusing on students, but in the future, we could also focus on the office worker or homeless that requires more,
So, students are currently mapping what is necessary. How is your product better than what they're currently doing at the moment?
So the current products, as I mentioned, not post, but it's too expensive and take a lot of space. And for students,
But currently I'm not using that product. So currently what I'm doing as a student mapping, how is your product better than my own ingenuity of pulling 4 seats together? It's going to make me spend money.
like even like you study long and you just sleep on the table. Yeah, but actually, yeah, I used to do that very often. But I get my mind refreshed at some point. But actually, my body get more tired, and my energy goes down very easily. Yes, much more easily than I don't sleep on the table.
Let me just ask about, if you, especially with the rental model you've got, how are you handling the COVID safety health aspect? It's a confined space where people are sleeping.
Yeah, I'm going to associate with university. Yeah, sell the thing to university and let them to the renting things. Yeah, so there will be a locker and people to clean the thing.
What's the weather effectiveness of the cover? Sorry? The weather effectiveness of the cover.
You sleep outdoors.
Yeah, can you be outdoors?
Yeah, we could think about that in the future, but currently was indoors. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I just wanted that there.
I was going to ask you about homelessness, but you got that in before your time was up, so yeah. Yeah, because there's an application
Guess what? That was 17 5-minute pictures made up of 3-minute presentations. Let's give a round of applause to everyone. Okay, so now what? I think you all know now what. But there's also stuff that you guys don't know. I haven't even told the judges this. So they'll be knowing it now. So they'll be listening in too. So you may have seen it maybe on the posts, but they are prices up for grabs. You may be wondering how much. That's a good question because some of you will be getting money in your bank account. So for first place, that's $3,000. That's not. For second, it's $1,500. Third is $1,000. Okay? And then we have category prizes. So judges, there are category prizes. So judges are to assign first, second, third places first. And then they can assess the category prizes. Okay? So the category prizes are worth $250, right? But we have category prize, people's choice, walk and vote while they're outside, so you get a say. Then there's most emotional story. Alright, so this is for the team which may not have gotten in the top 3, but which made you feel something, gave you the goosebumps. Okay, then we have the most validated. This is the team which, again, may not have made it in the top 3, but you went, wow, they nailed it. Like, they got value into their business. And then we have the Perseverance Award. So this is for the team which we want to support to continue. So BDO for startups. So they're actually keen to have a chat with the team which is going to continue. So this is like worth 2,500, right? So quite a bit. But again, this is for the team which is not the top 3, but which we want to help to continue. And then after that, we'll be releasing the results of the People's Choice. So if the People's Choice got one of the other 6 awards, we'll just keep going down to the next person. So there's a chance for everyone. This is exciting. I'm really excited. I'll be leading the judges out there, and we'll be giving them 10 to 15 minutes while you guys vote. So, yeah, it will be on the vote. Okay, so let's get the judges out and have a chat.
Sorry?
Yeah, good. Are you the bowler team?
Yeah, because like, they got more than
What?
Oh, send me the link, yeah, like those.
Yeah.
How's the broadcast?
It's still live. 2 people watching. Oh yeah. Oh no. Who do you think like that, I have seen like copies already the space, but that's the way they take.
Right? Do people want photos? So just quickly, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you to put your hand up. Team photos with people in the background, or team photos with the Weekend of Startups and on the background. So in that same order, hands up for people in the background. Hands up for the, okay. Hands up for the band in the background. Okay, band in the background. So I'm going to go back into the same pitching order. Okay. So can we get? Yeah. So this background, and then I'm inviting Mabel. I'll just make this right. I'll be cool.
someone using a phone. So we can be honest, and after that, kill the noise. Be honest, and kill the noise. After that, we have Rise and Shine. Okay, judges, give us another 5 minutes for you to take photos. So you can just chill. You can chill here, you can chill outside. Okay, Sestio, and then Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine can come down, and Sestio's not coming down.
I don't think we can compare. We haven't met, but I did. Yes. Yes. They were good. I can give you very specific feedback. Yeah. Most of them will come down from like wherever you're going. We'll get some feedback from some of the other guys. Yeah, because
Next team. So unclothed, Khadid is he in the room? Unclothed or elderly? Okay, do we have another team? Elderly, let's go, or that bag. Let's go. Let's go in the room. Let's go. No? Come on. Okay, is elderly that bag? That bag? Okay. Okay. So we still have elderly and unclothed. Oh, and too far. West we got. Yeah. Okay, guys. This, yes, I missed one. Okay, last one. And then it's time. Okay, team lead. Do you want a photo? Do you guys want a photo? You good? Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Final time, maybe hands on the fingers. Okay. prizes. So I'm going to flick through them just to make it dance a little bit, because that's fun. You'll have to click on the slide. Okay, thank you. No, that's all. Yeah, no, do it. Okay, so there will be a first place, but we'll come back to that. There will be a second place, probably. There will be a third place, but we'll come back to that. And we can start with the other one. Well, this one I think.
Do I need it? Yes, I spoke that. Hey, firstly, can you all give yourselves a round of applause? No. So as you know, my name is Tim Anderson. I'm the head of customer experience design at Entain. But before I was that, I used to do a lot of hackathons and startup weekends and stuff like this, right? So I've seen a lot of teams like yourselves do this. This is probably the best pitches I've ever been to. The quality of them was fantastic. Unfortunately, not all of you won. No, it was really good. So I'm here to say most votes validated. So the most validated team today was one who basically were able to show who they'd spoken to, what feedback that they'd taken on through, who that they'd spoken to be able to make changes and go, and this is what we do here, and this is what we do there, and I'm just building this up because I'm trying to build a bit of tension to go, oh, who is it? So that winning team for the most validated, we decided, was Speechly. Yes. Come and get a picture of the winning team. Congratulations.
Always love it from getting down. All right, give it up for that.
Most emotional, will I just get into it because you've already had the blah blah and you've had the tax. There were many emotional ones dealing with real issues. The one we have selected started with a bang and it dealt with an issue that many of us were of, and it is Mabel. Yep, you will.
You're gonna listen to me talk again, apparently. The Perseverance Awards. This is one that's most dear to my heart. I started my career at McDonald's, and when I got my job at McDonald's, my grandfather said to me, "Smart choice because everyone needs to eat." Right? So, therefore, the reason why it's near my heart is that I could see that persevering in that kitchen year after year after year after year, I understand the problems that people face when you're trying to cook. Right? So, you know who the winner is for this one? Which you will do through the PTO school, you'll have a fantastic solution at the end of it. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Okay, third place. I personally find this one fairly interesting, and I'll tell you the story of that afterwards, but let's go, let's get into third place. And did I give you a clue there? Let's go. I actually met my husband of 25 years on internet dating. It was around back then. Yeah, and we've been, congratulations. You've got a bit of work to do on it, and as we said, we think maybe a social app instead of a dating app, but your idea is good. Let's come in first. Yeah. Thank you. You're obviously in here.
Yeah, okay. Tim's done talking, so I'm going to take over the rest of it. So guys, we're getting to the pointy end now. Having done quite a few of these pitch events and startup weekends that I have doors now, just think back 48 hours where you guys were, how crappy the ideas were. Can you guys remember that? Yeah, there were some awesome pitches tonight. All of you did really, really well. I think we looked through the scores on the presentations. Everyone scored very high, so congratulations there. Second place is an innovation that we think is actually going to really change the world if it can get off the ground. There will be some big challenges, and that's part of the startup journey, and that's part of the entrepreneurial process to find those challenges and overcome it. And we are really excited to award second place for this pitch event to SoundCode. Awesome, give them a clap, guys. Just checking I've read it correctly. Yes. Okay, so we're at the pointy end. Now, all of you are winners in some way, shape, or form, at least in my opinion. But there can only be one winner, and today we saw Head & Shoulders an incredible idea with an incredible execution plan. Now, when it comes to identifying problems that can be solved, normally you need a little bit of domain expertise and domain experience, and that's what you're here to do at the university, develop that domain expertise. This startup, or this startup concept, has really focused in on a singular problem, and really focused in on how to solve it, and found a way to do that scalably. I don't think it'll come as any surprise, but the winner of the 2022 pitch event is Quill. Give him a clap.
Okay, and now for this other one, there's still hope. I'm not going to tell you which one yet, I'm just going to keep clicking. Okay, so, it's not that one. I've done that one. Okay, this one. So, let me have a look. I'm being told it is, okay, I know which one it is. Do you want to know which one it is?
Yeah.
So, I noticed there's been a couple mornings where we had some really excellent workshop facilitators, some of the best that I have ever had. We've had like global heads of companies come talk to us. We've had like people who've been delivering workshops for years on specific topics. Not everyone was there. So maybe this solution will be the one to help them get that done. So, people's choice goes to Rise and Shine.
Nothing to do with this.
Okay, and now we're wrapping up. Before we wrap up, I'm going to start going backwards. Okay? So as we go backwards, we've gone through the prizes, we've gone through the pictures, and we've done that. But I have to say thank you to the judges. That's a really, really hard job, right? Like, I've seen a lot of hackathons, I've seen a lot of pitches. And this was like so hard. Like any of you, if you pitched at a standard hackathon, like you would have won. Like it is incredible what you've just delivered. Like even like 3-month programs, if you pitched what you pitched here, you would have like won. So like, you should feel, not that sinking feeling of, oh, that was a lot of effort and that's what happened. You should be like, wow, we did that. So the judges had it really hard, and I want to thank them because they bring in so much expertise and we're really grateful for having them. So we have some small gifts of appreciation made by UQ Startups who say thank you. So thank you for your time, thank you for your time. Okay, now I'm going to keep going backwards. Who felt like the pitches were like, okay, yeah, I smashed it? No? Okay, that's good. That's good because you get to have another try. Because this, for many of you, like more than half of you, the judges don't even know this. This was your first time doing a hackathon. Can you guys believe that? The first time, right? Like, put your hand up if this was your first time again. Just so I remember. That's impressive. Okay, and now I'm going to keep going backwards, right? So on Sunday, we had the workshops going on pitching, right? That was like a 50-minute workshop starting from the emotional stories, going all the way back to like the hero's journey we want to include. Then we had beyond the hackathon content, right? We had the global head of Domino's, people development, come talk to you about his leadership journey, his stories in leadership, and what lessons you can take away. Because the point is, what you've learned here goes beyond the hackathon. What you've learned here will let you do what you want to do. It may not be this idea, maybe it is. I will support you if it is, but now you have the skills to find a problem and do it. Right? Find a problem, care about the problem, and you have the skills to tackle it. Okay? You learned about this thing, what an MVP is, right? You learned about this sort of pyramid thing, and I saw a lot of you go aiming for that money, right? Which is really, really hard to do in a hackathon, right? Go finding your problem, validate your problem, so that you can go right up to the stage where you know you're delivering real value, right? Okay, and then Saturday was like, wow. Saturday morning, most of you didn't even know your problem yet, right? I'm like, wow, you went from that and you ended up with like a business. So we started with more validation, which I just went through. Then we had the mentors, which asked you really, really hard questions, and I love that. Back to Friday, I talked about this, testing assumptions. And as you found, if you don't know your problem, like the root cause of your problem, if you're not actually solving your problem, it doesn't matter what your business is. One question and you're out. So most of you did a really, really good job of that. Even on Friday night when half of you were like, oh, is this the right team? Oh, I just spent 2 hours talking to people. Oh, how do I know? I'm stuck with them for 48 hours now. But you made it. So on Friday we had a guest presentation from Entain, And then we had Angela open up what a hackathon is, how to win it, and then you also had those couple slides from me about assumptions. So, well done. 48 hours, you did all of that. Well done. Who here is still feeling a bit buzzy? Because I know like 2 hours ago when the slides were due, like I was not getting all the slides and I was like, oh, what's happening? I could see the people when I had to duplicate the slides, so you guys could stop editing it, doing the pictures. I could see the little figures moving around again. I was like, what if I just drew a big box and said, hey, I'm sorry, I've already saved this, you can't change anything. I didn't. So you had to know that whatever you changed after that stuck. But good job. You've made it till the end. But if you are buzzing, we do have a post event. So if you have your stuff here, you can head to UQ-Res, follow. Milind has his stuff, follow Milind. Okay. UQ-Res, there'll be food, snacks, and some non-alcoholic drinks. So enjoy. Otherwise, I'm sorry. Otherwise, if you have to go and get your stuff in the other building, that building closes at 6, so take your stuff first and get it after. And I'll see you at the next event. Oh, hang on, I forgot. I meant to do something else. I meant to ask you how you actually found it. I have a slide here somewhere. And this is it. Please sign this before you go, it helps us a lot. I need to know whether you actually like hearing me all day. Like you've heard probably too many hours of my voice. So thank you, fill this out, and I'll see you around. Oh, group photo, group photo.
Spectators can come down to you. Spectators can join.
Another